Okay, let's be real. What is the absolute easiest pet you could possibly take care of? It's a question a lot of us have asked, especially when life gets completely bonkers. So to find an answer, we dove into a really popular online discussion to see what the internet's collective brain had to say. I mean, this is the classic dilemma, right? You absolutely love the idea of having a little buddy around, that companionship. But then you look at your calendar and it's just bursting. It feels like an impossible choice. So how do you find a friend that doesn't add a ton of stress to your already packed life?
So, here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the core problem. Then, we'll check out some of the internet's pretty wild suggestions. After that, we'll meet some genuinely chill critters, dive into the Just Add Water crew, and we'll wrap things up with some, well, let's just call them unconventional companions. All right, first up, the busy person's pet problem. Let's really set the stage here and define the modern challenge that we're all trying to figure out.
And this is the heart of it, isn't it? We are wired for connection, we want that companionship, but our schedules are just relentless. So when we start looking for a pet, the word easy isn't just a preference. For a lot of us, it's an absolute necessity. And this search is exactly what leads so many of us to ask the internet for help.
And oh boy, when you ask the internet for help, you get answers, a lot of them. Let's see what suggestions popped up first.
Okay, no huge surprises here. These are the usual suspects, right? Fish, cats, birds. These are kind of the default animals that jump into your head when you think, I need a pet that I don't have to walk. But the real question is, are they truly easy?
And this right here is the crucial point. Even a cat, which is kind of famous for being independent, comes with a pretty long to-do list. As one person in the discussion pointed out, you've got the litter box, the regular feeding schedule, grooming, not to mention vet visits. For someone with a genuinely packed schedule, that can still be way too much. So this brings us to a whole other category of animals that people were seriously praising for being genuinely low maintenance. It's time to meet the chill critters. But before we meet them, let's actually redefine what easy means in this context, based on the advice people were giving. We're talking about an animal that thrives with very minimal daily input from you. The setup is the big job, but after that, it's pretty much smooth sailing. And this is where reptiles officially enter the chat.
The discussion really highlighted two top contenders, the corn snake and the African fat-tailed gecko. For both of them, the initial terrarium setup is like 90% of the work. The real difference really comes down to the vibe. The snake is the very definition of independence. The gecko, on the other hand, is apparently chill enough to hang out and watch TV with you. I mean, just look at how simple the care routine for a corn snake is. Once that terrarium is all set up, your weekly checklist is basically feed it and give it fresh water. That's it. No noise, no walks, no emotional demands. It's a truly hands-off pet experience. But what if you do want a little bit of interaction, just without all the high maintenance? Well, this anecdote about the African fat-tailed gecko is just fantastic. It just goes to show that low maintenance doesn't have to mean no interaction. This little guy offers companionship, but completely on your terms. All right, so what if reptiles still seem like a little too much? Well, for our fourth section, let's talk about the Just Add Water crew. Perhaps the perfect answer for you lies underwater.
So the suggestions here included the absolute classic sea monkeys and hermit crabs. Fish were mentioned, of course, but, and this is a big but, with the very important warning that maintaining a tank and doing water changes can be way more work than people think.
Ah, sea monkeys. For so many of us, this is a total trip down memory lane. They're basically a tiny living ecosystem in a jar. It is the definition of a set-it-and-forget-it pet that adds a little bit of life to your space without adding anything to your to-do list.
All right, so we've covered the living and breathing options. But this is the internet, so of course it wasn't done. The suggestions got weird, they got wonderful, and honestly pretty hilarious. This is where the definition of pet gets very, very flexible.
Of course, the pet rock. You knew it was coming. One user shared this perfectly deadpan review of their rock's incredible weather predicting abilities. You know what? You can't argue with that logic. That's low maintenance, high utility right there.
And the list of these unconventional companions just kept on growing. It included a pet rock, a brick, even stuffed animals, but with the very important clarification that Toy Story rules apply. A cactus also made the list, and yep, even a cockroach. There is apparently a companion for every single need. I just love this. It's not just a cactus, it's Clive. And Clive has been, and I'm quoting here, successfully neglected for 4 years now.
That's a perfect, funny testament to finding a companion that truly asks for nothing from you but a spot on your windowsill.
So after sifting through all this advice from snakes all the way to rocks, what's the real takeaway? Well, it's that the word easy is totally subjective. The perfect low-maintenance pet isn't a single species. It's the one whose needs just perfectly align with the time and energy you actually have to give.
And that's really the question we'll leave you with. What does your perfect low-maintenance companion look like? Is it a chill gecko, a silent snake, or maybe it's a very wise, weather-predicting rock? The best answer is totally and completely up to you. Thanks for joining this explainer.